Hello everyone. Hey guys, Sampath here, and I have Akshat, founder of Malware, and Pritesh, head of growth at Malware. We have both of them with us here. Hey Suren, good to see you once again.
Hi Sampath, good to see you. Thank you for having us here.
Sure. Hey Karthik. So we have people coming in, joining the webinar. Good to see you guys. So Akshat has been running the company called BlogVault. Most of you might have heard. It's like a super popular solution for WordPress backup. So it has been like a wonderful journey, isn't it, Akshat?
Oh yes,
With
it
BlogVault?
it
Yeah,
it has been what 6 years now doing Log Vault,
right.
and
That's awesome.
yeah, we are a WordPress backup and security solution now.
hmm So
Yeah.
from starting as a WordPress plugin for BlogVault, they have been gathering like a lot of data, and they have been getting into malware industry, like malware analysis, right? Is that right?
Yeah. So
Malware analysis security space for WordPress websites. I happened to meet these guys at Bangalore when I was there last month. So they are really really cool, good guys to be around with, and they have a wonderful office. They have like a really good team. How long it took for you to build such a team, Akshat?
it's been what five and a half years. I've been very lucky to get like build the team slowly and steadily over time. Today we are 14 people and
Wow,
growing.
nice, nice. So I don't want to steal your show, so I'll just go take off my cam myself, and then you guys can run the show.
All right. Thanks, Sampath. I'll also go off camera to just in case to avoid any bandwidth issues
Yeah.
in in
Uh,
case.
and guys, like always, the video is not sharing. It should be showing up Sid. Can you see the video now? Can you see the screen of Akshat's?
Okay, so I'm going to go full screen.
Perfect. So just enjoy the webinar. Akshat has come up with like a lot of content to share with us in terms of how to prevent your website from malware attacks and hacking attempts, and then what it means to your website. I mean, most of you may not know how it could be affecting your website's health, SEO health especially. So Akshat is going to give us a detailed webinar about that, followed by which we will have a Q&A session and then a special contest for all the attendees.
All right.
I'll mute myself. Go on, run the show, Akshat.
All right. Thanks again, Sampath. Hi, everyone. Uh, Today I'll be talking about WordPress security and how you can secure your WordPress site. Uh, as Sampath had said, I'm the founder of Malware and BlogVault. Malware is our security product, and BlogVault is our backup product. Now, I guess a lot of you guys are using WordPress for yeah, for your website, for your blog, or and it is one of the primary channels for you, marketing channels for you, and one of the primary marketing resources for you. So that your website is very, very important to you, and security is a very important aspect of your website because of all the uh, all the noise you hear around WordPress security. Is WordPress really secure? I'm sure you guys must have heard that question. You must have read articles around this. You must have heard uh, about people uh, getting their sites attacked by hackers. So it is that's a pretty big question for anyone using WordPress. In fact, WordPress has gotten a pretty bad reputation when it comes to its security. And that reputation, some of it is valid, but a lot of it, there is a lot of noise around this whole topic. So, to the question, is WordPress really secure? The answer is yes, maybe. But so the reason why I say yes, maybe is because while the core WordPress software itself is very secure. It has actually become much more secure over time. So as the people building WordPress have matured and as the processes have improved, the WordPress core itself, the main WordPress software that you use, has become more secure. But WordPress rarely exists by itself. You use plugins, you use themes. These plugins, themes might be free. They might be paid, but because you have so many other plugins and themes and other software associated with WordPress, these do not have the same quality as WordPress. So the effort going into building these things and the diligence required is not there, because WordPress is built by a very strong team with a lot of resources from some of the top companies in the world, whereas themes and plugins are built by individual developers, and they are typically the ones that have problems. They are the ones which cause WordPress to get hacked. So which is why I say that WordPress itself is secure, but a WordPress site by its nature is not really secure because it's using other software along with it too. Now the other question is, okay, so maybe we are using plugins and themes, but our WordPress site is inconsequential, right? Because we are such a small player. There are much bigger websites. Look at that. We are not even in the Alexa top 10,000, top 100,000, maybe not even in the top million. So why would someone try and attack us? And the answer actually is that everyone is a target, because people do not look and attack you uh, specifically, right? And they are looking to uh, they do not look for like this particular SaaS provider, I'm going to attack this person. No, they are hackers are scanning the internet all the time looking for sites which can be attacked. And it's very easy for a hacker to spend an hour to scan like millions of sites, and they can find, and if they find something is vulnerable, they are going to attack it. So the thought that we are not a target is actually not true. So even our small SaaS website is can be a target, right? So the next question is, okay, so maybe they are attacking anything and everything. Why are they attacking? Why does a hacker attack a website? One one of the reasons is to send out spam emails, because hackers are always looking for new servers, new IPs to send out emails from. And if they can find a problem with your website, they are going to use it to send out spam emails uh, to millions of people, and that will get your IP blacklisted by Gmail, by Yahoo, etc. So uh, this is one of the one of the reasons why hackers uh, attack websites. They also use websites to attack other websites because they need more servers to create a DDoS attack, for example. So they're again on the lookout to find websites which they can use to attack other websites. They use it for SEO pharma hacks. This is closer home for us, where SEO is a very critical component when it comes to our websites. We get a lot of us get a large part of our customers because of SEO and Google sending customers for good keywords to our site. But what hackers do is they will use your reputation to create links to bad websites, to websites selling dangerous drugs, and they will sometimes uh, put their own dirty content on your website. Some of this content will only appear to Google and not to all your customers. So while your ranking will be going down, you will not even realize, or your visitors will not, you will not even realize that something is wrong with your website. So you will see that your Google Analytics shows uh, visitors going down, but at the same time, uh, your DAPA will go down, but you are unable to see what's happening, because these SEO hacks can be morphed and hidden. They can be used to spread malware. So I don't know if sometimes you must have visited websites where perfectly normal websites, and now we see more and more of it on phones, where people you'll suddenly see a pop-up or the browser will show that install this application to say secure your Android phone, or uh, your Android phone is under attack, and there are gullible people who fall for all of that, and all of this is being done through hacked websites. They also use other platforms like ad networks, but hacked websites are a very common way of spreading malware. Another way is defacement. Some of it is for fun, but defacement is when someone is like, okay, this website has been hacked. So somebody is trying to show off their capability. At other times, we have seen this very often actually with websites which have political content. So if our customers who host political content, we've seen that their websites will get hacked. So one example of this could be in the Middle East region, where hackers are constantly attacking each other from these regions, trying to deface their websites with their prominent websites. So that also happens. These are more targeted in nature, but a lot of the fundamental methodologies they follow is similar. For phishing, again, this is what is phishing? Phishing is when they uh, try and hoodwink people into thinking that a website contains, for example, uh, a form for their bank. So what they will try and do is they will try and collect your credentials for your banking account. Now they will try and host this website or this web page on your site, and they will try and use your site as a medium get uh, to get phishing data from your visitors or from other visitors. This is the final one, and I don't know if someone else has come across this already, but we have seen this a few times, where ransomware ransomware is where a hacker basically uses your website as hostage, and to recover it, they will ask you money for it. So we have seen this actually recently. It had happened with one of our customers, where the hacker took over the website, and uh, he encrypted all the data, and he wanted to be paid in bitcoins. Fortunately, at that time, Bitcoin was not was not at these stratospheric levels. I think it was still in the hundreds, but uh, they wanted to be paid in bitcoins uh, to uh, to get the data back. Fortunately, that customer had backups, but this kind of attack also happens. I'll just exit the full screen to make sure that the presentation is working well, because I cannot really see in a, uh, see the browser through this. So let me just take a short break here. Okay, I can see everything is going fine. In case someone has issues, do let me know. Otherwise, I'll get back to the presentation. All right, getting back to the presentation. Okay, so we know that hackers will attack websites, and they can cause quite a bit of damage to your website. So the question then is, okay, so how do I protect myself? Because I understand that people are always on the lookout, and I can be a target, but I need to protect myself. And is there any foolproof way of doing it? So honestly, there's no such way, no way of saying that, okay, take this and you're done, you're safe. Every software can have problem. There's no software which can be free of security issues. Just imagine, people have found vulnerabilities in Intel processors. So if if there are smart people out there who can find issues with some of the most complex things out there altogether, most complex technology out there. So websites, in comparison, is is much softer target and much easier. So there's no, you can't have a foolproof way of protecting a website. Though having said that, there are still a lot of things you can do to keep yourself safe. Okay. The very first thing is update everything. So I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you must have seen like almost every article with, when it comes to WordPress security, starts with update everything. And they start with update everything for a good reason, because every software has problems. Even mature software, over time, there will be problems from time to time. And the only way to fix this problem is to update it, because when the problem is discovered, updates are issued and that fixes it. Now you have 0-day vulnerabilities which get disclosed for WordPress and for plugins, and uh, you people go ahead and patch these vulnerabilities and issue new version of software. And WordPress typically makes it very easy to update these the plugins, the themes, and WordPress itself. So there is no reason why you should not do it. This will solve a lot of your problems, because a large number of hacks today happen because of unpatched or vulnerable plugins and themes, right? Let's take an example. Like I told you that WordPress itself is safe, and in spite of that, there was a vulnerability discovered recently in WordPress across XSS vulnerability. Not a very prominent, not a very dangerous vulnerability, but still, uh, there was a patch issued just this week from 4.9.1 to 4.9.2. So you can see that uh, problems, issues are always discovered and patches are released to it. So keep your software up to date. I think more than 50, maybe 60 to 70% of your battle is already won. Protect your login. I think this is going to take you another 20% to protecting yourself from getting hacked. Don't use like a QWERTY password, right? Hackers are in the lookout for uh, to crack your admin details, because once they get into your WordPress dashboard, then they can control and change anything on the site, right? And the way they do it is they do it through brute force attacks. So what they would do is, once they find a WordPress site, they would try the top 10,000 or the top 100,000 uh, passwords out there. And the top 100,000, there is a thing called top 100,000 passwords for a reason, because they have seen, uh, by now people have seen that the same passwords get used again and again and again and again by different people. So as much as I can say that don't use QWERTY, there are people who still use QWERTY as the password, right? So, and the hackers will just try these 100,000 combinations, and one of them will definitely let them through. So, and once they are inside, they have full control over your website. So I would strongly suggest, you can do a lot of things to protect yourself from such attacks. You can have you can have strong passwords. Strong passwords are easier said than done. Using a random number password is very difficult, because you just cannot remember it. Fortunately, you have tools and browser add-ons and browser itself, which assists you with uh, mechanisms of storing these passwords. You have things like limit login, which I'm actually a big fan of, which limits the number of login attempts an IP can make. So which can help you protect against uh, brute force attacks. You can have CAPTCHA. So everyone has seen those obfuscated uh, images with where you need to type out the images being rendered, the numbers being rendered, or the text or word being rendered, and that's a pretty safe way to protect against brute force attacks. This is again something I'm a big fan of: two-factor authentication. Almost any property, web property today, which is of value, uh, uh, comes with two-factor authentication. So you will see this. So you should definitely protect uh, your Google account, your Amazon account, etc., with two-factor authentication. But also this is available for WordPress sites. So you have plugins which enable you to do two-factor. This can also be used. And finally, this is a slightly, I won't say this is a fail-safe, but it's a nice to do. So to crack a password, you need the username and the password. If your username is admin, which is the default, then it's easy to guess. But if it is not admin, then as many passwords as you can try. At the end of it, without the username, the person cannot get through. So that again protects you from these attacks. There are challenges with protecting admin user because it's sometimes more complicated in hiding admin user. There are many ways of identifying the username associated with an account. So don't think that just changing the name will protect you against not having strong passwords. Use SSL. Again, this is, while I would not say this is directly related to, so by now we have reached like, I think 80 to 90, 80% of protection for your WordPress site. SSL is something which is nice to do. Now, it's not always directly related to security in the traditional terms of getting your website hacked. It's rarely that sites get hacked because of lack of SSL, but it's a it's a good practice. It ensures that all communication to your website is encrypted. And everyone today uses public Wi-Fi. You will be at the airport and you log into a public Wi-Fi. You'll be at a coffee shop and you log into a public Wi-Fi. So at Starbucks, you log into the Wi-Fi there. And if you're logging into your WordPress site, then that information can be captured if you're not using SSL. But if you're using SSL, this is safe, right? So it's a good practice to have. Always have SSL on your website. It increases trust for the visitor because visitors like to see uh, the green title, green HTTPS or secure in the browser URL bar. And also Google loves it. So you will see a small uptick uh, in your SEO because of it. So always good reason to use SEO. Limit your user permissions. Now this is a bit of a tricky one. It's easier said than done. Like we are running a SaaS business, right? Most of us. And for us, we are like, okay, let's create content because the more content we create, uh, the better our SEO. Content plays a very important role in our marketing. And not all the content is created ourselves. We have many authors, many people in our team, some of us will outsource a lot of content. Uh, we will have we'll have to give guest access to for a one-off post where someone else is posting on our site. So that means that our WordPress site has a lot of users. Now we should ensure that we only give contributor access to these users. And if the user if we know that the user is no longer with the company, the person who is using the WordPress site, then then remove those old users. Again, I know it's easier said than done. There are complications involved. What happens when you remove an old user? What happens to their content? WordPress makes it easy to transfer content, but then at the same time, uh, it's not something which you want running around doing all the time. So maybe you remove the old users or change the passwords associated with them. But an old user, now you might be like, oh no, my team is not going to do something wrong, right? My teammate, even if they leave the company, that's fine, they'll take care of it. But what would happen is, suppose they had used a weak password. Now if that weak password was discovered in one place, it can lead to uh, it might lead to your site getting compromised. And we have seen stuff like this happen all the time. Social engineering and these mechanisms are uh, often used as ways to exploit uh, a site. Another something which is now you hear a lot more of is firewall. There are multiple. So firewall is something which blocks bad requests from coming to entering your website. There are different types of firewalls. You have cloud firewall, you have plugin based firewall. Now you must have seen it from Cloudflare to Sakuri to WordFence and to what we are doing with Malware. So you have different types of firewalls out there. And what they do is they identify if a site, if a request can be dangerous, and then they block those requests. So they do in-depth analysis of the request and then can block the request. So this can be a good way of protecting yourself. There are advantages and disadvantages. So there are times at which it will block a perfectly good request, and sometimes when it does that, you will not even realize, um, or it's very difficult to debug those things. So there are disadvantages with firewall. Some of them require complex configuration, maybe at DNS level also, and it's not a silver bullet at the end of it. There are ways of circumventing firewalls. The way, because one of the biggest reasons sites get hacked is because of vulnerable plugins and themes. So if they exist, then they give a lot more control to the hacker, because of which a firewall will find it difficult to block against. That's the nature of such vulnerabilities. So it cannot be a silver bullet. It's a nice to have. It will protect you against many situations, but uh, it's another layer of defense for you. And that's the way to look at it. This is, again, while I'm biased coming from BlogVault, I think this is advice I would give to anybody. And even if I was not using, even if I was not from BlogVault, and having great backups, again, that cannot be emphasized enough. Today, our data is critical to us. It is the most important thing. Don't only Not only do backups of your laptop, your phone, your Gmail account, and anything that you find valuable, but also of your websites. Uh, in case of, and how does backups relate to security? It is a failsafe. When everything else fails, when it comes to um, security, when it comes to if your site get hacked, then it is a failsafe. You can recover from a backup. A hacker can get your site deleted. The hacker can come in and delete the entire data. In that case, a backup is the only option you have left. When you get hacked, there's a good chance that the web host will ban you because your site is attacking other sites, using up too much resources, or even sending out spam emails. In such a case, either they will be like delete all the data and recover from a backup, or they will be like you're banned, go to some other place. And we have seen all of both of this happen. So in such a situation, having an independent safe backup is very important. But backup is not enough because your backup itself can be hacked. So you need to remove, and recovering from a backup will not remove the hack. So you need to remove the malware. Now, malware cannot be, while there are a lot of articles out there saying if you are hacked, search for these keywords. If the keywords are present, delete it. Actually, malware cannot be hacked manually. Hackers are smart and they will hide malware in so many different ways. It's very, very difficult to imagine. And it's almost, you can't use any standard or simple mechanism of identifying the malware. So you need specialized tools to clean the hack. And these tools can be very expensive at times, or these services can be very expensive at times. So as I said, malware is hidden and very, very difficult to find. So you need to use a good quality malware scanner. This is another thing we have noticed, that your sites will get hacked and it'll be months before you discover the hack. This is because identifying if a site is hacked is non-trivial. It's a very difficult job, and the hacks are hidden until one fine day the hacker is like, today I'm going to exploit. Today I'm going to light up the hack. And by the time you realize, it's too late. Google will blacklist you. Google will stop sending you traffic. Your SEO will get impacted in a very, very big way. Right? And when people are searching for anything related to your site, or maybe if people are searching for your brand name directly, Google will show a message, this site might be hacked, right, or is serving malware, warning people from visiting your site. And like I said, web host will ban you. Having your site go down is terrible for your SEO, right? And it can be days before you recover the site. So you can imagine what a what a big impact it will have on your SEO, on your visitors, on your credibility. So again, I would recommend using tools like Malware, which obviously I'm biased about. Uh, you have others like WordFence, which is a free tool. You have Sakuri, which is another very prominent one. And yeah, so this is some these are some ways in which you can protect yourself. And thank you so much for your time. These are links to our websites, to our products, malcare.com and blogvault.net.
So thank you, Akshay. Thanks for that. Plenty of knowledge in there. I have a quick question before we start taking questions from everyone else. Sorry, guys. Pardon me. So you have mentioned about people, or especially hackers, are often looking for opportunities to hack into. Like they are keep on looking at the threads, uh, like highly vulnerable websites. So where are those vulnerabilities come from? How do we know?
Okay, so vulnerabilities. So vulnerabilities are there in every software or almost every software. It's very difficult to say that this software is perfectly safe. Now, we have typically seen that vulnerabilities, while they happen in WordPress, that's very rare. Most of the vulnerabilities typically appear in plugins and themes. The really dangerous vulnerabilities, they typically appear in plugins and themes, right? Uh, I'll just stop sharing the screen. Yeah. So yeah, so most of the vulnerabilities happen in plugins and themes. So you would have purchased a theme from some place or a plugin to help you collect to show a pop-up to help you collect email IDs. You will have another plugin for MailChimp to send out emails. A lot of these are not official plugins from these companies, and even if they are still liable to hacks. There are tools out there. There's actually a plugin out there which will tell you whether you have any vulnerable plugins, but none of this is comprehensive. Let's understand that. Uh, while a lot of vulnerabilities get disclosed, it can be a lot of time before. So hackers also try and keep their stash of vulnerabilities to themselves, to which they can quietly exploit on millions of sites. So you will see both things happening. So you will see that there are known vulnerabilities, but there are also a lot of unknown vulnerabilities which hackers are quietly exploiting long before people, regular folks, come to realize it.
Got you. Okay. So is it okay, or is it safe to assume like maybe we are 90% or 95% safe if we are using genuine themes and plugins?
No, that's not the way to look. There's no, like I said, so WordPress itself had a vulnerability recently, right? Now,
Wow.
is WordPress genuine? Yes. In
Mhm.
fact, a year back, exactly a year back, WordPress has a major vulnerability. Perfectly
Wow.
safe software. So major vulnerability which would let any person, any visitor,
Mhm.
insert a link onto your site.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's crazy.
That exactly a year back this vulnerability existed. So now reputed, like, no, nothing gets more reputed. WordPress is possibly one of the most reputed software out there. It's in the league of the great softwares that we use, right?
Right.
And even that can have major vulnerabilities. They get patched, they get updated, which is why I say get things updated. But obviously using reputed software is better than not using reputed software. So if you see a crummy little software plugin available for free, or something which is not, which normally costs a lot of money, being available at a throwaway price from some place, then you should just be slightly wary. Obviously, as SaaS providers, as startup businesses, we cannot uh, afford all the, like, we are always looking to save money, and I can understand that there are good free alternatives also available for a
Mhm.
lot of things. So normally I would recommend use things which are popular.
Okay. Okay. Makes
So
sense.
when things are popular, you know that even if a problem is discovered, it will get patched.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, so that's the only thing. You, as long as you can have confidence that it will get updated, that's a good. That's as much as you can do for yourself.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, thanks for that. So what happened? Yeah, I have one other question. Yeah, we'll come back to my questions later. Let's take the other ones first. Karthik has asked, what about using VPN services in public Wi-Fi? Is it still vulnerable? Is that a threat to use a public Wi-Fi?
Okay, so let's understand what happens in the context of a public Wi-Fi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so a public Wi-Fi, whatever you do, whatever activity you carry out, is going through a router which you do not know who is looking into it, right?
Right,
Like it can be, so if you're at a Starbucks, the person sitting at Starbucks, the administrator there can be logging all the data that is going through. Now, if you're logging into your WordPress site which is not SSL, that can be one issue, but there are a lot of other activities you might be doing. You might be visiting other sites which might not have SSL, so forget your own website. So in all such situations, having a VPN can protect you from someone in the middle looking into your data. So definitely a VPN is a good idea. But nonetheless, I think the onus is on us to ensure that we are not one of those people uh, who do not have SSL on our websites. We should have at least SSL on our websites, because while we might be using VPN, one of our content writers might not be.
got you. Makes sense. Yeah. So Dan has asked, are we safer if a site is hosted on a VPS server instead of a shared hosting?
See, this is, I think web hosts get a lot of shit for some of it they deserve, but I think security wise, I would, I would actually think otherwise. Okay, and hear me out. In VPS, you are managing everything yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and let's be truthful, right? We have 20 things to do.
Right,
So now, along with updating WordPress and updating your plugins and themes, now you also have to update all the software on your VPS server. So
right.
if you have experts managing it that can uh, help with the security,
Mm-hmm.
I would rather suggest going for a managed WordPress hosting in such a situation. So now you have people taking care of a lot of these problems, like uh, which were typically seen in shared hosting. They circumvent it using VPS technology or containerization. So those are definitely better options than managing. I would always advise against managing your own infrastructure as far as possible, because we have too many things to do.
Regarding admin passwords, do password protectors like uh, dash lane, is it safe or is it still a trouble?
Uh,
Like,
Password
like,
protectors like which one?
like us storing our passwords
Yeah.
on products like a dash lane or LastPass. So something like that. When we store that, are they safe?
So LastPass got hacked, I think about 2 years ago, and there were some challenges with that. But overall, again, there's no such thing as foolproof, but definitely better than using QWERTY or password or your your own name as a password. Definitely safer than that.
Of
I
course.
would I would recommend using one of those tools for sure. Like as much as they got hacked,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it is still I would still recommend using something like LastPass for sure.
Got you. Yeah, thanks for that. I haven't started using. Maybe I should look into it. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Uh, Dan has one other question. So, is WP Engine is it a good host to get started with, or would you recommend something else?
Okay, so just as a disclaimer, WP Engine is a big partner come customer of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So I am obviously biased, uh, but nonetheless, if I had to recommend my mom, I would definitely recommend her to
Right.
use WP Engine. They are great folks. There is so the I think they do a lot of things right. and they
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of things right in terms of security also. So some things which you will not realize, but they will prevent, not completely block, but they can prevent a lot of malicious users from creating from modifying dangerous files, right? Or
Right.
inserting malware onto your site.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken some steps like this. It's not visible to a lot of people, but from a security stance, it's good. They will ensure that your site is fast, so your SEO is good. Uh,
Right.
and more than anything else, what you are doing is, uh, in case when things really go wrong, I think having someone who can support you if you don't have a full time, and or if your own engineering resources, you don't want to have them spend time figuring out why your website is slow or whatever. In those cases, WP Engine or similar web managed hosts can be worth the money you spend. These are expensive, mind you. So,
Makes sense.
in case you are looking for a good solution, but we don't want to spend excessively large amount of money, there's another customer, again, partner of ours called Cloudways, Cloudways. I will recommend going for them. You get some of the benefits of VPS hosting without the headaches. So
Cloud-based, right?
yeah, Cloudways is something I will recommend in such a situation. So again, depends on which bucket you fall under and what your requirements are.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So, does changing the WP slug for login will it mitigate the risks?
So in fact, I think we are writing an article right now about this.
Wow. Okay,
Uh,
that's a spot on.
yeah,
That's a
so
spot on, Gaurav.
I dislike it altogether.
Wow.
Okay, and I'll tell you the reason for it. So typically, how do you change your WP slug? It's a very so you'll use a plugin or theme to do it, and when you do that, you are typically use the standard mechanism. So all of these plugins or themes will come with the default alternative. You'll use that alternative, and that's easy to crack. Sharing this information is a lot more difficult. So, and the way it is done is very dirty. So they'll make changes to your HT access files and other parts of the system, which is not a great way because WP login, the standard structure of WordPress is hard coded in many places. So all of these are hacks to circumvent this. And honestly, and it so suppose you hide your WP login, and there are other places which people can attack you. People can attack you using XML RPC. So your WP login is hidden, but they can attack you from XML RPC. So that's another. So then you need to sit and protect XML RPC. There are other problems and you might be using the mobile app. If you're using mobile app that uses XML RPC, so then what do, right? Uh, there are other challenges with WP login. So it will suppose someone is attacking you, brute forcing, doing a brute force attack. Hiding your WP login does not protect you from, like your server will still get overloaded because that's the way. Even when a page is not there, WordPress is still loaded. So for all under all the circumstances, as well as if you're sharing so you got a guest blogger, so then you need to share your special URL with them, right? Otherwise, everyone knows you go here, you click WP login dot slash WP admin, and you land up at the admin. So because WordPress is so prevalent, for all these reasons, I will not recommend changing WP login dot PHP. Rather, use something like login protect, limit login, use strong passwords, change your admin users. Those are better ways of mitigating such problems. Is that okay?
Clark has asked, would you recommend WordFence?
So WordFence is a competitor of ours.
Yeah.
So with Malcare, uh, all things said and done, if you're looking for a free alternative, they are uh, they can be a pretty good solution. They have a lot of users out there. I don't like everything that they do, uh, but definitely they are a reputed uh, and pretty good product out there. Again, as a competitor, I don't want to say too much about them. More than not really from the perspective of referring someone to them,
Hmm.
but also because I'm very, very biased.
Right. No, thanks for being honest about that. To be, I very much appreciate that, and I'm sure everyone here would. So, what is the big difference in terms of protection between WordFence and Malcare?
Okay, so actually, our products are completely built completely differently. So we do all the processing on our own servers. So we don't put any load on your WordPress site. From an end user perspective, that's one of the things they would have seen all the time, with, especially w- with this is very, very visible because all the processing is happening on our servers. So no, your servers do not get overloaded. The site does not become slow. But because we are processing the data on our servers, the quality of scans, so we are able to identify malware which no one else in the world is able to identify. And we do it because we have backed up over 250,000 sites now. So we have a lot of data associated with what does a good website look like, what does a bad website look like. So we are able to use this intelligence to identify if a site is uh, has malware, and we will tell you right away if there's malware. WordFence works slightly differently. It compares against a set of signatures, known signatures, or compares against known files. So because of which it leads to a lot of false positives, right? Because we are running it on our own servers, all the scanning, it means that we tend to be more premium. WordFence, because it's doing it on your site, it can be free. So that's the advantage of WordFence. WordFence is obviously has got millions of users, so it has that brand recognition, and we are still in our early days, though I'm quite confident we'll get there. Finally, we offer one-click automatic malware removal. WordFence has manual malware removal, so
Wow,
that's another big change. And the reason why we can do this is because uh, we can identify malware very, very accurately.
got you. Yeah, makes sense. So, Kat has a question. Does your product has a firewall?
Yes, actually, so we are soon going to release the firewall component. Uh, it is going to use the intelligence from all the other sites on the network to identify and protect uh, you from attacks and from brute force attacks and common known malicious attacks. So it's going to be able to protect you against all of those. We'll also have a mechanism. We also have a mechanism to implement some of the best security practices out there. So it'll be a comprehensive. It is a comprehensive product with and a one-stop solution.
Wow, thank you. That's something good to know. So, the questions come in. Meanwhile, I'll put in my question. So, we talked about these malware attacks or phishing attempts can actually get your site blacklisted and can work as negative SEO for your website. Is that right, or is it just a rumor?
No, that is true. It can have a tremendous impact on the way your visitors perceive you, as well as how Google perceives you. It
Wow,
can it can be a big red mark, and recovering from that can take months.
wow, wow. Okay, sounds really scary. Really, really scary. So so based on what you have spoken so far, seems like having a product like Malcare or I mean WordFence. I'm just saying,
Hmm.
uh, having one such plugin would be more like mandatory, apart from having an SSL as well. Is that
Absolutely, I would strongly recommend it. I will
right?
strongly recommend having a good security solution. Again, more than I'm telling, we can always be like, okay, we'll take great care and keep a close eye and make sure that everything is safe. And those things can be done, but at the same time, you still need to lock your door. So you still need to be vigilant. So and we are running our own software businesses, right? So it's not we will always get distracted. So having a good protection a good security guard is always will be yeah, it's a no-brainer according to me.
Yeah, makes sense. So I have worked with Komoro, SSL certificate vendor, as you might have known. So I totally understand the reason behind having an SSL certificate installed on your website. It not only just builds trust for your website, it also acts as a shield to protect your website from external attacks. I'm totally with you on that one. I have a quick question here. Just having an SSL certificate would not be enough, or do I still need a product like Malcare?
So SSL certificate does not protect you against from hackers. SSL certificate protects the information which is being transmitted to and from your site. So it would mean that if you are on a public network or nobody can snoop in on the data, suppose you're accepting credit cards, which I would still recommend not accepting directly through your website. Definitely not store it on your website. Uh, then you do definitely cannot have it go over clear text. You have to encrypt it end to end. Uh, you might have users logging in. So if you have a WooCommerce store or e-commerce store, you want to ensure that all those transactions, even if it is not um, product related, even if it is not credit card related, all the other information that a visitor enters, maybe from their address, etc., or their email IDs, those you need to ensure that they are being transmitted safely. You have a simple form, right, on your website as a lead generation form.
Yeah.
That data should be transmitted safely,
Okay. Okay. I get it.
and that's what SSL protects you from. But it does not protect you from hackers who are looking to who are looking to exploit a vulnerability.
Right. Right. Makes sense. So, Anil, can this replace WordFence and Cloudflare? Like, can Malcare replace both the products?
Okay, so our goal is to replace WordFence for sure. Cloudflare is a bit of a tricky one. So Cloudflare is uh, cloud-based firewall. We are a plugin-based firewall. Both have their places, both have their pros and cons. So because it's Cloudflare is cloud-based, it protects you. It stops the request from even reaching your server. So there are advantages with that, but there are also disadvantages. They while they are stopping you from reaching your server directly, there is still a way. The path to your own server directly is also not closed. So
Okay.
you still need to protect that path. So there are advantages, there are disadvantages. You need to change DNS if you are using Cloudflare. If you do have both in place, that also has value. Yeah, so again, you need to understand what is your threat impact and figure out what is the best answer for you. It's very difficult to say one size fits all in such a situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Super true. So, in terms of customer support, how idiot-proof is it? Iltap, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. If it's wrong, pardon me. So, are you asking about Malcare here in terms of customer support? How idiot-proof is this? Is that about Malcare? Yes, about Malcare.
Okay, so uh, I would not call my customers idiots, but definitely what we tend to do is we tend to make products which are very, very easy to use. So what you would do is you'd install your plugin and full stop. You don't need to do anything else because the complexity associated with these products can be extremely overwhelming. There's a lot of fear that gets spread around by security related products, and we believe that we should not go down that route. Already people are scared of their websites being hacked. So uh, being making it simple to use is definitely one of our goals. What we do is we automatically implement all the best practices as soon as you set up an account with us, so
Gotcha.
that you don't run into any issues. After that, even if you still run into issues, our team is there to
Mhm.
assist you, and you can look at you can see people leaving reviews about Blockworld support, you will see that we go out of our way to ensure
I
there
have
are
seen them everywhere. I have seen them all over.
yeah, so our customers we tend to uh, treat our customers how we would expect anyone else to treat us.
Okay, best way to go.
Yeah.
So, Gaurav, once again, our free SSL like Let's Encrypt or Auto SSL, will that help? Will that serve the same purpose as something like a paid SSL?
So again, in my opinion, yes, but there are, if you ask someone selling Komodo like Sampath, he's going to go deeper into it and tell you why there are differences. And I think there are differences. So the number of visitors, number of browsers which a Komodo or semantic SSL will support, will be valid on is definitely not the same as Let's Encrypt. But Let's
Mhm.
Encrypt is growing very, very fast and very
That's true.
rapidly. So all the major browsers support Let's Encrypt. Let's Encrypt has its challenges also. So
Mhm.
be careful. Let's Encrypt today needs to be refreshed every 3 months. A lot of web hosts have support for Let's Encrypt built in, so they are making it lot easier. So in fact, it's much easier to use Let's Encrypt today with a lot of web hosts
Mhm.
than a paid SSL product, for example,
Got you.
right? But
Yeah.
Let's Encrypt servers also are will as Let's Encrypt is becoming more popular, its servers are going to get strained.
Hmm.
Komodo being a paid product. Again, I should not be selling this. I think we can let Sampath do this job, but Komodo will have a lot more resources to lot more servers to ensure the security and do the validation, certificate validation for sure.
Right. Right.
So there are many again, there are many aspects to look at it. I
And
think
they
for a
have like a
large
huge,
number,
yeah, sorry to interrupt. And they have like a huge database of malware to get rid of. So they know when exactly your site is going to be attacked and whether it's a threat or not. So that's where the big difference between a paid SSL certificate like Comodo versus any of the free SSL vendor out there.
right? So yeah, so it's a complicated, really complex ecosystem
Hmm.
and understand your needs. I for vast majority of us though,
Hmm.
go for Let's Encrypt if you are until you decide whether you should select a paid one or not. At least select Let's Encrypt,
Yeah,
which is a very good solution. All things said and done. We have it on one of our websites too.
right. Great. So there are other questions, one from Dan and one from Iltap about whether Malcare is going to have a deal, or do you have an agency product that we can use to install on customer websites? Are you going to provide a deal or something, some discount on that?
So do reach out to us at akshat@blogwall.net or akshat@malcare.com, and we will try and give you the best pricing possible. Already, our security product is is the best product if you're running an agency by a mile. So for if you have like 100 sites, you will not get such pricing with any other product out there.
Got you.
And the quality, and while we don't sell on pricing, the reason why we can have this pricing is because we are super confident about our technology. So we
Hmm.
don't do anything manually.
Hmm.
Our systems take care of everything automatically, which
Hmm.
is why we can serve customers at the prices that we offer.
Totally. Yeah, thanks for that. Can you share the rate card? Yes, you can see the rate card on malcare.com. Just yeah, that's exactly it. Thanks, Suren. So going back, there are a few more questions. So Kat has asked another question. Will you take care of updates and testing your plugins with popular themes like Divi, Avada, Thrive, Element, or whatnot, and also with other popular plugins?
Okay, so the beauty of our system is it is the way we are structured, it is automatically compatible with all of these plugins.
Amazing,
We never ever had an issue with an incompatibility because of a plugin
amazing.
or a theme. And it comes down to the way we've structured our system. So if you write the code correctly,
Hmm.
you will see that this is rarely a, a problem.
Super, super. So, guys, do you have any other questions? Anything I missed? If I missed anything, can you please copy paste once again? I have scrolled all the way up and all the way down, but I'm pretty sure I haven't missed any. But I'm a human, and I make mistakes as well.
This is,
Uh, yeah, sorry, go on.
no, I think there's a question. Sid has asked
Yes,
how to compare Malcare to Sakuri.
agree.
Again, don't ask me for it because I'm the worst person to ask about about these. So instead of comparison, I would tell you what makes us good, okay, and why you should select our product. Again, please, I apologize for being slightly salesy. I'll try and keep it as objective as I can. Uh, so with Malcare, I think our biggest, strongest selling point is we can identify hacks which we have seen others, like people who claim to be the best out there,
Mm-hmm.
miss by a mile. And we do it as soon as it happens. Like however often your scan is set up, we
Mm-hmm.
will scan the malware and we'll find the toughest malware out there. And
Right.
this is because of our technology. Uh, I think Sakuri has done a fantastic job of educating the market.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tony Perez, the founder, very well. In fact, I meet him every quarter, at least once I get a chance to meet him. The great
Okay.
guy, and they're great folks. Uh, we are the only ones in the world who can offer one-click malware removal. No one else can do it,
Super. Amazing.
right? Uh, and all of this, uh, what we also do is we keep a track of changes happening to your site.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that uh, as hackers try and do anything to your site, you will be informed right away
Right.
because we can track the history, and all of it is being done on our servers without, so we don't put any load on your servers.
Makes
Okay,
sense. Yeah,
so
that makes a big
we are
difference.
a one-stop solution to ensure the complete safety of your site, and we are the only ones with built-in backups. So Sakuri also comes with backups. Let me, but their backups are a very secondary product. It's not an integrated solution. Our backups are integrated into our security. So we will let you manage all your plugins. We will soon be showing you vulnerable plugins that are happening on your site. We'll also be showing you an audit log of your site. So it's a comprehensive solution built in to showcase, to ensure the safety of it. So what we call is we ensure that your site is up and running
Mm-hmm.
so that everything else on top of that. So
Mm-hmm.
the only way you can maximize so our bigger goal of our company is to maximize the potential of your website.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important way to do that is to actually have the website up and running all the time.
Okay.
And this is what we are about. So we will keep your website up and running all the time, and against the biggest disasters out there,
Mm-hmm.
and to maximize the potential of your website.
Super. Super. What do you say about infinitewp.com? Okay. As far as I know, Infinite WP is all about managing all your websites under one roof. It's not about security or backup solution. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Uh,
That's-
okay, so Infinite WP, again, a competitor of ours because we also let you manage all your websites. So the beauty of our solution is you get backup, security, management, everything under one roof. And all, so we do few things, but uh, we at least we would like to believe we do them well, right? And
Mhm.
again, Infinite WP is a competitor. I know the founder really well. He's based in Chennai, great guy, uh, and they have their. So I think again the market is very large. There are products which are trying to solve from different aspects.
Mhm.
Infinite WP has taken a installed software product approach. We are strong believers in SaaS, and our solution is SaaS based. Infinite WP obviously does not have security or backups like as robust backups as we have.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. So once again, the same question popped up. Is there going to be a discount or a coupon on agency plan?
Okay.
We'll work out something on that.
Yeah, so
Maybe
just
after.
reach out to us and we would definitely love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we'll work out something for the group, maybe like something
Absolutely.
like some discount for the agency plan, maybe, so that you can
Absolutely.
install on your client websites as well. We'll work out something. Maybe we'll organize another webinar to take more questions, and we'll announce some special discount for everyone.
Okay, please show how the backend
Backend
looks.
looks okay.
Okay, I'll do a quick look into the backend. And again, we are constantly improving it. In fact, our designer is working on it right now. So you will see it change considerably. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, this will give you a sense of what we let you do. Okay, just give
Mhm.
me a moment.
Sure.
Share a video um, later as well with them.
Okay, that's great. So we'll do that. And let me just share a quick screen grab of what our backend. So let me know in case you can see the dashboard. So you will have, unfortunately, I'm sitting in a corner of office, which has the worst connectivity.
You
Okay,
just
so
need
you
to
can
take.
see.
You just need to hide your cam.
Yeah. Okay, yes. Let me hide my camera.
Mhm.
With your sites, you will see the sites which are hacked, and you'll see if there are updates available, themes available, theme updates available on the site.
Mm-hmm.
You go onto the site, you'll get detailed backups, you'll get details about management. We also have, we are the only ones which have a built-in staging environment where the staging gets created on our own servers, and you can merge back to, that's something which we really love, and our customers really love. So we said that this site is hacked. You can get the list of hacked files, and you can see that these are the files which are hacked. You can see a hack here. This is the type of hack which you can see a lot of obfuscated code out there. You can see the hack. There's another one here, a different type of hack. Again, this one does not use any keyword, I think. Or eval, I think. So this is the beauty of it. So finding a hack like this is very difficult because it does not contain any keywords or anything uh, which is easy to identify. So we'll give you a list of all the hacked files, uh, and we can auto clean it. So once you have seen the site, you can auto clean it with a click of a button. We also let you secure your site using some of the best practices out there. And our backups is something which we are really very proud of. You can go back to history where you can see the site as it's evolving over time. So we'll show you the details, and I don't know if on this site we have. Okay, let me show you another site. I don't think we have published anything here for some time on this site, but let's look at Vault.net. Oh, we have real-time backups. We also support real-time backups, so you can see as changes are happening to the site, you can see the changes that are happening. Okay, and the site is not hacked. What was I going to show you? History page for this. So here you can see that we posted a new post uh, around staging feature. So we'll highlight that in the history page. Again, you get a good sense of how powerful we make it. We also have a great search function. So you can find out if a particular site or the list of sites which have specific tags or has a specific username or even a plugin. So all of that additional functionality we are able to provide. So it makes it very, very easy to manage your sites. And if you have like agencies, like you mentioned, for them, it becomes a very, very powerful tool to use. Everything integrated into one place. Is there something specific you guys would like to, anything else you would like me to showcase?
Hacked websites. Do you provide that?
So what we do is it's again automated. In case you ever need assistance, we are here. But we think that the only way to clean a site is through only a computer can really, it's like, can you humanly remove a virus from your computer? No, you need to use a product for it. And that's the product. So with our product, you can clean a site. So let's look at this site again, and you can see we have an auto clean functionality. We take your FTP details as soon as after you enter your FTP details, with a click of a button, you can clean your site. So you don't have to wait for hours for the cleanup to happen. Okay. Can you demonstrate? Unfortunately, I don't have the FTP. I wasn't sure if we'll have a demo ready this time. Maybe we can post a video of it. Would that be fine? Or love to have you use the service and try it out. I'm sure you'll be happy. Uh, you'll see us in action. If you have many sites, we have seen that typically customers who have 20 sites or more, we are able to find at least one malware which they did not know.
Guys,
Okay.
any questions? I think, will this be replayed? Yes, I will upload the replay, say in a couple of hours. Okay, I think we are good, Akshat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sampath. Thank you so much. I love the questions. They have been fantastic. Let me put back my video here. Thank you, guys. I really, thank you for the opportunity, first of all, and I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Great set of questions. Some of these things definitely to think about. Regarding the coupon, I'll talk to Sampath regarding the same, and feel free to reach out directly to akshat@malcare.com. We'll try and reply at the earliest, and would love to have you guys try out the service. And again, I don't want you to use this only to talk about our service. Do protect your WordPress site. That's the bigger goal. I know you guys are very busy, and please ensure. I think it's worth the effort, because going through a hack is a harrowing experience. It's like the way I say it is, it's like having bed bugs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had bed bugs, but after you've had it, it's one of the worst nightmares that you go through.
True. So true.
I would be like, yes, take care, guys. It's worth being cautious, and it's worth protecting your site, because our sites are, as SaaS businesses. Again, I'm speaking from perspective of SaaS businesses. These websites are our bread and butter, right? Like, we exist because of our websites.
So true. Yeah. So thank you, Akshat. I think Pritesh is still there, somewhere hiding. Pritesh?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So thank you, Pritesh. Thank you, Pritesh and Akshat, once again for being available to run the show. And thank you, everyone, every single of you who managed to take 1 hour of your time to sit with us. Hope you guys learned a lot. I will publish the replay in the group shortly to the YouTube channel as well. And we have a special giveaway contest from Malcare team. All the attendees, you guys will get head start of the contest. I'll disclose the details about that via email as well as in the group later on. So thank you once again. I'll keep you posted. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Sampath. Thanks, everyone, and good night. And
Thanks, everyone. Look out for the contest from Sampath. Really exciting. And
Yeah.
thanks again for joining in. Take
Thank
care,
you.
guys. Cheers.
Cheers,
thank you.
guys.
Bye-bye.